And we're back with another video with the Honda. Previous video I showed how to remove a distributor, which is this guy right here, and replace an O-ring that goes in between the distributor and the valve cover. However, that was not the issue. I'm still noticing a leak on this. This is actually a week after I did the last video. I did go out after I finished that video, did a test drive, and realized there was oil all over the place again after I did a really good cleaning. So did a lot of research, went through a lot of forums and whatnot, and realized I had missed another place where a gasket could have gone bad. And that is, see if I can zoom in a little bit, that guy. This thing right here is what Honda refers to as a spool valve, or it's sometimes called the VTEC Solenoid. What we're going to do is we're going to replace that, or not replace it, we're actually going to replace the gaskets on it because it still works. There's no check engine lights or anything popping up saying that it's bad, so that is the only other thing I can think of why it is leaking oil. So let's remove it and replace those gaskets. So to get you guys a better look, I've already gone ahead and removed the intake tube to the air box and the intake manifold. I've also removed all the wires to both of the electrical components on the solenoid. Now it is both sections, there are actually two sections of this thing, and there are two sets of O-rings I'll show you in just a moment, but there are two sets, so there's actually 6 bolts total you're going to want to remove. So there's these 3 here, and there's one here, and then one back here in the back. All of them, from what I saw, were 10 millimeter. So I'm actually going to take this off in stages. I'm going to take the top piece off first, and then I'm going to take the bottom piece off. So let's do that now. Alright, there's the top piece, and there's the first set of first gasket set we're going to be removing. So I'm going to go put this to the side for a second. Now let's get the bottom piece off. Hopefully you can get this in there. There we go. And last one loosened up. Here's the last piece. I'll get that in a second. And there's the other gasket we're going to take off. So let's move over to my other place so I can get these off. So these are the two pieces that we pulled off the car. As you can see, there are 2 gaskets. This right here is that top piece we pulled off first, and this is the bottom piece that actually mates with the cylinder head, and those are the 2 gaskets. Here are the brand new ones, and here's a shot of both of the part numbers, so you know exactly what you need. I think the last time I went in there, the guys are kind of clueless, I think, on this top one. So as long as you know the part number, bring it in there, they'll be able to get it for you. So let me mount the camera, and I will show you how I pull these things apart. Alright, we're going to start with the bigger of the two. I've got myself a pick. Just probably go from one of the corners and just kind of pull it up like that. And then slowly bring it up. And there's gasket number 1. I'm going to try to clean off some of this old oil. Not necessarily out of the seat, or at least the groove, because you may want to hold on to that oil, use it as a lubricant for the O-ring, because we will need to put some back on it. Alright, take the new gasket, set it down, and just gently press it down. There's the first one. Second one. That one's hard. And it's still got a little flexibility, but let's replace it anyway. I don't think this one is where the oil was coming from, but I've got it apart, so I might as well replace them both. So here's the new gasket. Just set it in there. And just walk around the edge. Press down the center. And there's our new gasket. So let's put these back together. Alright, so we're going to loosely put the top piece back onto the housing. So we will set it on, at least for now. I'm going to have to hold it so I can get the bolts in place. Okay, now there is a spring tension spool that is right here. Try to get it set down level so you don't scar up that spool, and then you can just hand tighten those bolts for now. You don't need to tighten it all the way. We'll do that when it's on the car. Whole assembly is put back together, at least for here. Let's go put it back on the car. So let's reinstall this solenoid. First things first, let's clean off the surface here. Try to get as much of that old oil off, and if there's any debris around it as possible, try not to let any debris get into any of those passages, just so we have a nice clean surface to work with. It looks like it wasn't that bad. So I've already done so, but go ahead and lubricate this O-ring. And I'm going to start with that bottom bolt. I'm actually going to go ahead and thread all three of them back on here. But just start with hand tightening all three of them. Okay, the first one's somewhat threaded on there, so I'm going to go with this one next. Just to kind of keep everything lined up, and then do the last one. So I had to abruptly stop because of this. Broke a bolt. But luckily the stud piece that broke off was very loose in the head, that I was able to kind of tap it out on the side with a screwdriver and a hammer. So went to Honda, or at least my local Honda dealership. They actually did not have these in stock, so I had to go to my local hardware store. And what they found, I believe it was an M6x1 bolt, but I would bring another one of these with you and just check it yourself, because I came home with apparently 2 different size bolts and one that actually works. So paid for 3 bolts, but I'm only able to use 1, so I'm going to reuse the other 2 that are still working. Got them pretty much tightened down by hand. Now I'm just going to go ahead and just hand tighten these things just firm. I don't want to break them, but I did actually. That was probably a freak accident, because I think I was last time we were looking, I just barely hit it with the torque wrench, or the wrench. So I'm just gonna. That looks like good enough. Get this next one. Feels good enough to me. And that one feels good enough to me. Let's do these top ones. Alright. Now the solenoid's back on. Let's put our electrical connections back to where they're supposed to. So this one goes to this top piece here. If I can get it to hook the right way. There we go. And that should attach back up here somewhere. Like that. Okay, there we are. And then this other one, not sure if you can see the insides of that. This one attaches to the bottom here, the green piece. And there's a noticeable click. And we've successfully reinstalled the solenoid on the back of the engine. I still got a few other things I need to put back on here, but that basically gives you the gist on how to replace that VTEC solenoid or replace the gaskets on that VTEC solenoid. Alright, so this is after about a 20-minute drive. I did clean this before I went out and did this. From what I'm looking at, I do not see any fresh oil like I was seeing before. Beforehand, if I did the same drive, this area would be completely saturated and so it would be back here. So I think I did the trick.